Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Join the latest phenomenon as we play the largest selection of video games on the planet. And we're currently playing everything at sometime in July 1982. We were on the Atari home computer playing Slime. It's an alright game, but Synapse Software has a bar that's really high, and this one just doesn't deliver as much as the other ones. Let's see what our next game is. We're now going to the Apple II, and this is Snake Scramble. I'm going to breeze right by this one. I really wanted something that was Apple II-ish before we get to Softline Magazine. This is from Softline Magazine, where you typed in, the front of the magazine is Computer Awareness and Education. But if you flip through to Snake Scramble, you can type in the fast-moving action game, where you're a hungry snake trying to gobble up falling apples. Haven't heard that one before. Cross the path the apple is landed on, make sure you keep your snake growing, and then that's pretty much what the game is. It's a snake game. It is not a very good snake game. I'm not even going to play this snake game because, yeah, it's just another snake game. So I'm going to say, of all the games you could play, I'm going to go 1 star for Snake Scramble. Snake games are going to come and go, and we're going to see revival after revival. This is another chance for snakes to try to be in the limelight. They've been around since the 70s. Let's keep going. After that, this is the latest issue of Softline Magazine. It is July 1982, so let's see what's going on in the world of Apple computing. Now, Softline is a magazine that's made by, partially by Ken and Roberta Williams, but this front cover is over the history of war games, and they go way back with history of war games. Look at that 6-sided die on the front. So cool. All right, let's flip it open and see what Softline has in July of 1982. On the left side, we have the usual ad by Penguin Software, and then I'm going to breeze by the table of contents because we're going to hit on everything. It's a smaller magazine. There's the Softline staff. Over on this side, you can see there is, I'm looking for Ken Williams. There he is, associate publisher, Ken Williams under administration. He's part of it, and this was one of the magazines that was available in California. Some people writing into the editor over on the side here. Writing into magazines. And then over here on the right side, we have Zero Gravity Pinball. That is a giant spread for a game that is just not good. If you want to check the links down below, Zero Gravity Pinball was trying to do something different with pinball, and it just falls flat. It falls in that category of highly ambitious. Let's try something that's never been done before and just doesn't work very well. Oh, that's true. Nibbler. We have seen that one. Yeah, that's a fun one. All right, let's flip on. Now is the history of war games. Man, they go into a lot of detail. Look at those guys. In a way, war games have been going around for centuries and centuries because whenever there was actual war, that's what they did. They gathered around a board, had the pieces, and they were using that to bring actual people into battles. And this is us doing it for entertainment. The times have changed. But there's a real war game going on. Yes, in a forgotten prehistoric battlefield, a Neanderthal strongman prepares his tribe for battle with hostile neighbors. One of the earliest known war games that bears resemblance to modern-day games was developed by China in 3000 BC called Wei Hai. At least that's what they claim here. The game was played on a board map using colored stones, with players try to outflank and encircle each other. Wow, they're going all the way back to 3000 BC? Maybe Chronologically Gaming should go even further back than we started in 1971. Yes. It's got to be, right? Because the board's so large, they have to be using that stick to move it around. The hardcore board gamer. What do you think? War gamers, are they even more hardcore than the D&D players? So earliest war games used solely the formula of strategy, and they still do now. And then they break down the next section, which is 1959, Enter the Prussians, or the ancient Chinese games in the early 1600s. Wow, they go way back. This is the history of histories. Wow. People did most develop modern war game and the Prussians. And then on the home front, we have 1866, 1870. Wow. So they went that far back. That's incredible. And then in England in 1874, they had the Wilkinson formed the Oxford Kriegsspiel Club, later the Manchester Tactical Society. That's how old they are. Gosh. Yes, maybe they're the most hardcore ones now. No cheating involved in World War II, and then the input problem. Yes, traditionally war games have improved in sophistication and accuracy, either by having the results tested in actual battle through data acquired in recent wars. But a lot of the equations and computations have to happen by the people, and that's where the video games come in. Have they even got to the video games yet? Hey, look, it's an ad for Taipan. We've seen this one on the channel. It's another not military. It's the spice trade that you are involved with the management of your company and how well your company does making decisions. Oh yes, the speedrunners. I could say that for sure, Mark. And they break down the Battle of Santa Monica in 1954. And then there we go, modern times. Board games available in stores like Waterloo and Panzerblitz. Since 1953, they created a game called Tactics. Consists of a board with grid squares colored to represent different types of terrain and cardboard pieces printed with strength and movement. Factors based on how well each piece fought. Wow, 1953. I mean, I think I am a stickler for history with video games, obviously, here on the channel, but this goes way, way back. And then they break down, look at that, Avalon Hill coming in. The company producing games commercially. First product was called Gettysburg. Then their game D-Day. Avalon had the market cornered until 1970 when James Dunnigan and Redmond Simpson took over the magazine's strategy and tactics and formed Simulations Publications Incorporated, SPI. I'm familiar with that one. Taking a more aggressive marketing approach and publishing 2 more games per year to 12 to Avalon Hill's 2. And then, of course, Dungeons & Dragons by TSR started up, and then they started those kind of board games. Games that rely heavily on historical accuracy are most popular because they allow players to use free imagination of interesting possibilities. Like, what if Germany and England were allied against France in World War I? What if Hitler had a nuclear weapon? I'm sure he did. And then we have the Crimea River. Not Crimea River. Crimea River. And, of course, the Star Trek examples. Then they have the other ones by SSI, Road to Gettysburg, Napoleon's Campaign. Yeah, they talk about the advantages over computer gaming and board games. We've already seen the hybrid, both computer and board games coming in. Oh, yes, Warhammer. They haven't mentioned that because I don't think Warhammer was... When was the first Warhammer? Was that 81, 82 when that was starting to get popular? It all branches and starts. This is going further back than Dungeons and Dragons for war games. At least this chronological table has. And then they have a war game matrix for us. Nice. I don't care about Derby, Downs, and Day at the Races. Let's go on through Softline Magazine. They are talking about new people in the world of video games. As current Apple games head, the TG product immediately has Castle Wolfenstein, Shoplifter, Cannonball Blitz. That's the man. On Apple Computer, Ted Gilliam. Been good at spotting opportunity and seizing it? Yes, Gilliam. What's he working on now? Does it tell us? All 3 of those games are awesome. They're cream of the crop. Castle Wolfenstein, Shoplifter, and Cannonball Blitz are some of the best computer games you could play. What are you doing right now? What game are you working on? Yeah, close-knit group, and then the clock struck. The TG products is where he is now. Gilliam believes in producing service to buyers, and then testing programs and the paddles. It doesn't say what games. Oh, currently the works are joysticks for the IBM PC and Apple III. Joystick for the latter will be accompanied by the emulator disc for Apple II games playable on the Apple III. Apple III isn't doing so well. Apple II is where Apple gets the most money still. And then over on the right side, we got a spread for Congo, which we've seen on the channel. It's an all right game for the time. Very arcade-ish. Artwork's pretty nice on this ad. Let's flip it on to the next page. Adventures in Adventuring is a series that Softline's been doing with an example of what it'd be like to make your own map. That's a really nice one. That's a map with graphics. Anyone do that? So this is Ken Rose, again, breaking down and talking about adventure games, what they are about, the differences between those games. And then they have a game you can type in called The Werewolves at Dawn. I don't believe we're going to play this one. It's a pretty generic text adventure game, 2-word text parser. But it's something you can get your feet wet for the people that want to try adventure games themselves or create their own. Oh, 83. Thanks, Ariel, for looking that up. Wow, so we're so far back in July 1982 that Warhammer doesn't even exist yet. Again, you're speaking of the future. And over here we have an ad for Laugh Pack. It's a compilation of games made by Chuckles. There he is. Look, Chuckles has his name written down like online systems. Very, very clever. Yeah, really good pack. Check that one out for lots of fun games. Let's flip on to the next page. We have, after the incredible specials, there's the rest of the text to type in The Werewolves, a text adventure game. And then this is an ad for Reston Software. They have just application software, so reason by that, we only want to get the games here. More of the code to type in to play The Werewolves adventure game. And then Discount Computer. Look at all this It feels like we're reading a catalog now. No way. They had multi-switches, like, gosh. And then the third-party controllers and joysticks were all over the place. I mean, look at that. That one, I think we've seen several, yeah, by TG Products. Making some that I've heard are pretty good. From the Wayside. Let's flip on to the next page. Is this still the... It is. It's still the adventure game. Wow. And then over here is the next article. Things to come, bitten by the Atari bug. This is all about K-Byte. We've seen a few games by them. They have 3 new ROM cartridges. They're all about Atari and putting cartridges out to play games. Some of the stuff that K-Byte's done that we've seen is Crazy Critters, K-Star Patrol, Crazy Antics. And then you can see they're talking about what the breakdown of these games. We've already seen them. They're pretty well done games. I would recommend them. Then over here we have Starship Commander. Starship Commander was kind of a letdown. We've already played this one. If you want to check the links down below, it's a tactical game, but not done as well as other tactical space games. Let's flip on. After that, oh, here we go. Is this about Shoplifter? That doesn't look... I guess it is. Yeah, there it is. We got a little bit like Shoplifter. It's weird to see the planes so zoomed in, though. So this is all about Shoplifter. It's got to be, yeah. Dan Gorlins, Shoplifter, director of the author, applied his skills to program his goal to provide an interactive animated story in which he would like the video display of the apple he borrowed from his gadget-collecting grandfather. Gorlin did not explicitly set out to make an animated movie-like game, but it plays really well. It is one of the best games we've seen so far, only on the Apple II right now, and we're going to see it on other ones. The Hayes Modem. And we also have, this is just talking about the game itself. So a lot of praise for Shoplifter. If we're already aware now how big the game is. Playing it after seeing everything before that's come as far as flight games or shoot 'em up games. In a way, I started off thinking it was just like Defender, but it's kind of a step above that on the computer. It feels like you're playing a half flight simulator too. Lots of fun. And let's move on to the next one. There he is, Dan Gorlin. Oh, he's so happy. Making Shoplifter. Just having fun, and I've heard that he didn't expect this game to go off the way it did, but glad, of course, the popularity, but kind of something he wasn't expecting. No way, really, for old fire alarms? That's interesting. All right, the answer, my friend, for the resolution. Oh, so he's breaking out how he did it without losing a helicopter. The lives in Shoplifter. Too cool. So they have a slight interview with Dan Gorlin. And then down here, this is some Summer Software Madness. And then over here is an ad for Snave Systems. You can see some prices of different things. They have just software as well as applications, video games. There we go, education, and then anything and everything. A Micro Modem 2, more TG paddles. Give you an idea of what it cost for those things back then. That's right, Niggas Prime. All right, so this is Game Line. This is breaking down really short micro reviews of every game. Softline doesn't do number system for rankings or star systems like we do here on the channel, but they just talk about the game. So here's Pursuit of Graf Spee, and I think we've already talked about this one. Yeah, they say Graf Spee is vastly superior to India Allied ships known as the renowned scattered cruisers around themselves. Certainly maximize your chance of locating Graf Spee. The best strategy games to be forming killer hunter groups of the 3-4 ships pose a threat. Okay, this is actually tactics too to play. Nice. Yeah, how to play Pursuit of Graf Spee. High tactical game. There it is. And Pac-Man, the official one, is on Atari. Pac-Man ROM cartridge, asking what's going to change. And yeah, Atari's version attempts to duplicate the original arcade game in every detail. Pac-Man looks and sounds like Pac-Man should. Atari's done itself proud with a home computer version of the game. That and Centipede is available. And then we have Bandits, which if you liked, finally made it past Sneakers. If you patted yourself on the back and got to level 50 on Snakebite, you probably even rode to online systems when you got the last character in Threshold. Now comes a game that challenges you not only score hundreds of thousands of points, but discover the mystery of the last level. Bandits is one we'll be seeing soon. We haven't played that one yet. And then even more praise about Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Yeah, we haven't heard that sound yet because we played a game that required you to have a connection of LAN. We played a tank game on the channel. It was the first one that allowed you to connect and play with other players. It was text only, though. It was the kind of game that you say the command of what you want the tank to do, with text and then send that process over the lines to the other player. It was extremely rudimentary, but it was cool seeing that one of the very first games that had online internet capability. Not even internet. It's like comlink capabilities. But I love Alibaba by Stuart Smith. And then over here is Queen of Phobos, an adventure game that we played. It's a graphic adventure game, and it kind of gets lumped into the other sci-fi graphic adventure games that Online Systems is doing. It's about average. Let's flip on to the next page. What else do they have? Gold Rush. This is one we just saw, not the softline type-in one. This is the one that was the arcade-style game. Michael Berlin and Harry Winkler. Notice there's lots and lots of text. There's not a lot of pictures advertising the games unless you see the ad itself. So this is the magazine Softline talking about the games, but you have to read through and see what they say about it. Like they say, the authors of the program have designed a game that will keep you on the edge of your seat. You can't go wrong. You'll love it. And Gold Rush is all right. It's very similar to Congo, their other title. It's arcade, but pretty average for the other games we've seen so far. Nice, Manly. And then we got Chicken. Oh, Chicken's fun. It is Avalanche or Kaboom if you like Atari. What do they say about that one? High-res graphics, clean, sharp, and colorful. Animation smooth and realistic, shows off Atari's unique player missile graphics. The concept started by Atari's Avalanche and continued in Kaboom from Activision has been taken further in Synapse's Chicken. And yeah, it's good. Fun time still. And then we got Star Blazer. So many nuances learned from the other one. Star Blazers, I don't think... I remember that one off the top of my head. Oh, from Broderbund. I don't think we've seen this one yet. But we will be seeing it soon. Let's flip on. The Vaults of Zurich, another one we haven't seen yet, but we will be seeing that. The late Philip K. Dick left us a legacy of imaginary worlds, each a terrifying mixture of dream and reality, much like the world we live in. His characters are typically paranoid, uncertain of their abilities, fearful, even quite able to escape their imaginary pursuers. So Dick invented the paranoid games for them to play. So based on... I don't remember the title of this one, but Philip K. Dick's popular for Blade Runner, Minority Report, lots of properties in modern times. And we're going to be seeing Vaults of Zurich. Now I'm excited if it was based on something that Philip K. Dick did. And then over here we have Trailblazer, which is another game. I don't think we played this one yet, but it's coming up soon. We are not done with July of 1982, and then August, then things really ramp up. It's going to be really exciting in August. All right, let's flip on to the next page. Here's an ad for the Robot War Tournaments. This one's by Muse Software, the Olympic medals. Oh, that's pretty cool. So these are digital robots people programmed in, then sent them in for the competition, and they designed the graphics, Softline did, to show first, second, and third place. That's a nice touch. Pretty cool. So they're just breaking down the yes, first time I think it's been referenced here on the channel was Philip K. Dick. Yeah. And yeah, Trailblazer, it sounds familiar, but I don't think we played it here on the channel. And then over here, this is just Robot War breaking down the tournament and how it went. Cool idea. It's like way before esports, way before highly competitive video games were done. They allowed you to send in the robot you designed for this game. All right, let's flip on to the next page. Beware robots bearing discs. Oh, look, there they are. They got a screenshot of the tournament. Robot War Commanders. Frank Crow, Richard Fowle, Michael Lombardi, Robert Zrak, and Tom McNichol. And again, they're not controlling the robots. It's you sending all of the commands that you want all the robots to do and how they're programmed, and then they pit them against each other. So essentially, those guys are just waiting and seeing if the robot dies or lives. And over here, we got some more technology involving the use of music and sound and educational titles and what it's doing in the world of computers. And right now, I'd say the best games that you could play with sound or music is going to be on the Atari home systems because of that Pokey chip. But we've seen arcade games obviously do things advanced above that. Right now, the Commodore Max Machine has the SID chip inside of it, the same that we're going to see really soon on the Commodore 64. It's like right around the corner. I'm so itching to play a Commodore 64 game. I'm really excited. Let's flip on to the next page. I don't even know if Softline's going to hit on Commodore 64, at least right now. There it is, Pokey and Black Holes, Atari Sound. How to make it sound so good. The Atari Sound games have been the best ones because they've been one of the first that we've ever heard chords or multiple layers of sound on top of one another. And then this one has a sample program that you can try yourself on your Atari to get some cool sound on there. And flip it on to the next page. We got some more stuff by CalSoft. And then over here, are these, high score tables. Look at this. ABM by Muse, Action Quest, Alien Rambo. Yeah, this is another place to look for games that may have been lost to time, because as a list of everything, Cricketeer is one we haven't seen yet, but we will be seeing that one soon. But a lot of these are really familiar. Head On, oh yeah, the Head On that's on Apple II. All right, flip it on to the next page. More high scores and high lines. Oh, nice. People writing in to tell how they got the high score or what they did. Went through Threshold 4 times to get 751,000 points. Sent in pictures of every single creature on all 6 levels. So they got stories of the high scores. Nice. Wow, look at all the games that they have listed. And these are the max scores with the player and where they're located. So cool. And then over on this side is a ad by Eduware. I'll breeze by that. And there it brings us to the back of our magazine and the end of the July issue of Softline Magazine in 1982. So there you go. After Softline Magazine, let's see what our next game is. We're now on the Atari VCS, and this is Space Attack. Let's take a look at Space Attack, starting with the box. It's another release by Mattel. Mattel is bringing more and more releases to the Atari, but they're doing it different than other third-party developers. There's some third-party developers like Activision I give the praise for because they're getting quality software, good video games for the Atari. But there's other third-party developers that are just bringing a bunch of shovelware out there, tons of junk. But Mattel does something different. Mattel's taking what already was established on the Intellivision and converting it or porting it to the Atari. So most of these games we've seen before, but now they're in an Atari flavor, not an Intellivision flavor. And Space Attack is no different. Let's take a look at the box. So there you go, this Space Attack, using the usual M Network motif, all the fancy lines, and then most of the artwork down at the bottom right for the Atari video game system. That's right, the VCS. The artwork looks really similar. So if Space Attack doesn't sound familiar, it's not the Space Attack you're thinking of. This is Space Attack, not from Sega and the arcades. This isn't Space Attack that's on the Arcadia 2001. This is the same game that was on Intellivision called Space Battle that we saw in 1979. So this is only a one-player game. We got 2 different game modes, radar mode for strategy, and then battle mode if you just want to do the action side. And let's see what other art we have for Space Attack. Oh, there we go. We got the dirty box and the cleaned up box. Old, new. Same for the back of the box. And then we also have the ad you would have seen in magazines at the time. In-Network has a surprise for you. What do we got? Oh, look, other ones we're going to see later. We've seen Frogs and Flies. Not yet. Yeah, all of these are the ones that are coming up. Space Attack is way down here in the bottom corner. I'm not sure if you can... Yeah, it's like right behind my shoulder. And then we also have the cartridge you're going to pop in. There's the Mattel or M Network signature third-party cartridge. Very nice. And then if you were in Europe, it was released as by Telegames USA. And the box will look like this. Same one, just not M Network. Telegames. There it is. Telegames USA. And then the cartridge... If this is for those European fans out there, what you would have popped in, that is so boring. I really enjoy the M Network cartridges compared to that one. Oh yeah, and the Tron one. We haven't seen that one yet. Let's take a look at the manual for Space Attack. Is it the same? How are they going to do Mattel games when Mattel has the overlay and all the buttons? You only got one joystick and one button here. So this is one player only. The object of the game is defend your mothership from attacking aliens. You have 3 squadrons and 3 ships in each squadron. Aliens have 6 fleets of varying sizes. Only 3 fleets appear at a time on the radar screen. Destroy all alien fleets and you win. If your squadrons are destroyed, the aliens move in and annihilate the hidden mothership. So there's our game over in the top left. It is a screenshot showing the alien fleet and your squadron. This is the radar mode. You'll have a view of space, almost like a diet or watered down version of Star Raiders. Very, very diet version. You have 1 squadron per alien fleet at a time. Your squadrons appear in the center of the screen only after you dispatch them. Take your squadron into battle mode. Whenever it reaches the target fleet, in battle mode, you look into space through the laser gun sight. So it's the combat or space combat view from a first-person perspective. And shoot them up. You automatically go into radar mode when you shoot down the entire alien fleet or lose a squadron. And then a siren warns you when the mothership is under attack and you got to go save them. So here we go. How do you play this? because we're not on the Intellivision. You have either joystick plugged in. You can use either one. Start the game, push on the reset switch on your console, and then when you're in radar mode, you just push down on the joystick to switch through your alien fleet. And then whenever you're ready to dispatch a squadron, you move left, right, up, or down. Hold the red button down, and then move, and it'll dispatch a squadron out there. And then when you want to take a squadron into battle without holding the red button down, you move up, down, left, and right to use the different. So you can see the complexity, because they had to dumb down all the stuff you'd have on the Intellivision controller. All the buttons, it's all gone. You have to do just one joystick, one button. So in battle mode, move the joystick in any direction, guide the gun sight where you want, and your lasers hit. That's the space combat mode. Difficulty switches do something, though. How well the aliens fight is on the left difficulty switch, and then if you use the right one, it controls the activity of the radar screen. You can do the easy radar, where the computer does not fight battles for you, but the hard mode... Oh, okay, the easy mode is when no activity on the radar when you're in battle mode. But hard, if you move into position A, all activity on the radar screen continues when you're in battle mode at 1/4 the normal rate, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. And they give us a nice screenshot in the top left with some winning tips. Thanks, Mattel. Oh, really? So I played this one on Intellivision, or we did. I think I've had KC Club Kirby on the show, and it wasn't super impressive. It was a little clunky because we honestly were playing Star Raiders on the Atari home computer, and so going from that to in the Intellivision, it kind of soured the position of the space combat game. Let's see what it's like on Atari, though. We have the North American release and the Telegames release in PAL regions. Let's pop in and play Space Attack by Hal Finney and Bruce Peterson of Mattel Electronics at sometime in July 1982. So the first thing you do is push reset on your console. And whenever you're ready to go, you just push down. So this is me switching between my 3 squadrons. Let's send someone out to this one. Ready? Go. So I held the red button down. I have a squadron being sent now to that fleet. Let's get out there, boys, before they get to the mothership. And they fly out there. And then let's go. Now that we're in the squadron we have, it looks like 12 ships left. I'm getting feels like a delay to shoot, but I remember feeling that on the Intellivision. I was blaming it on the Intellivision disc, but I have the Atari VCS joystick here. I like the chain reaction. Nice touch. 4 ships left. Gotta watch it. There we go. All right, so now let's get another squadron out here and go. You want to go to fly out your squadron to the closest one. And let's do it. 9 ships. But what you see here is basically what you get. It starts with the strategy view, and you just need to send the squadron where it needs to go. Oh, our squadron's out. Quick. Send another one. Why isn't it? Oh, there you go. Quick. Go, go. Send them out. We only got 1 force left to go. And they got the mothership before I could. Yes, thanks, Mikey, for the heads up. And is that the reset? I think that is the game over. So we hit a reset again. Go from the beginning. Let's switch and go to this one. Sending out the squadron now. Can we get another one going too? Oh, there we go. Yep, get some more sent out. That's it. Send out multiple squadrons to hit on multiple, and then go. Now we can get 10 ships. Oh my gosh. But considering all the space combat games we've already played on home consoles, Intellivision, and Atari, this one doesn't come close because of the playability. While the action mode, it's okay, but we've even seen better first-person action modes besides these. Gosh. Nice effect with the twinkling stars in the background. Poof. Feel like I can fire off screen. But you just don't want your reticle to come into contact with it. So if they hit the aiming reticle, that's where instead of thinking of the center of the screen as if you were on the ship, you just have to get your reticle out of the way. If your reticle gets hit, then that's why you'll get blasted down. So very different. Da Schwartz! Use the Schwartz! So there you go, that's Space Attack on the Atari 2600, or Space Battle that was on the Intellivision. I'd still say of all the games we played, it's still around the 2.5 star, maybe even 2-star range, because it's a subpar considering the other games that have been on the home console. And we've already seen not the official star raters, but the one by Activision on Atari that plays better than this one. So you can go and throw out your ratings now. Of all the games you could play on home consoles, Space Attack is essentially what Intellivision had, but it wasn't as good on Intellivision either, considering everything else you could play on a console. Yeah, I'm seeing 3, 2.5. We're going 2.5 stars for Space Attack. All right, after Space Attack, let's see our next game. It's time to go back to the Atari home computer. This is Space Games. Let's take a look at Space Games, starting with the box. I know, the pressure. That's why you should be here for the live show. Influence Chronologically Gaming. Put the ratings out. Space Games, what is this? Lost in Space? Looks exactly the same. And it looks cartoonish. Hey, flip it over the back of the box. It is a cartoon. Grab your joystick and help us fight these aliens. For 2 games, you'll need 16K, tape 32K. The third game needs 32K tape or disc for all ages. There are 3 arcade-style games included in this. Aliens, funny space invaders, or funny invaders falling out of the sky at ever-increasing speeds. Then we have Survive, where you have to escape from a strange universe of odd-shaped creatures, and Robot Attack, a berserk type game that requires logic as well as speed. They misspelled Berserk, or did they mean to not do it for copyright reasons? Then we have an ad you would have seen at the time. This is by Educational Software, but don't leave. It's not really educational. This is all arcade action. Not everyone can teach their Atari new tricks, and there's some of the games they have here that are educational, basics, kids learning and stuff. Yeah, so all those are learning, except Space Games is not learning at all. And then we got a 5.25 floppy disk by Perfect Software. It's on both, or by both, I think. Let's take a look at the manual for Space Games. Look at that. Not every time you get a comic book feel or style whenever you play a game. This is one of the few. How to load Space Games. We need if you're playing disc, you need all that. Tape version, Robot Attack, and Survive. So there's 3 games in one. It's a compilation. I believe Alien is not found nowhere else. You can find Robot Attack and Survive separately, but all these games require something different. And then how do you load the game? How does Little Timmy play? I don't even know if Little Timmy's playing this one. Oh, yes. That's too bad, Mikey, about your cousin being a jerk. I had family members that were jerks too about video games. Never did get to play that Super Mario Brothers 3. Anyway, so what's Ma growling about? I don't know, Dad. Because of the aliens. Man your joystick and help us repel the alien horde. This is so cool. You got a comic book before you play the game. If you're successful, you'll be a member of the Video Whiz Patrol. Okay. Our family's made it to the stars. We've been followed. Funny-looking aliens are coming over the horizon. We need help fast. If they land, we're all doomed. Take your joystick or paddles, preferred, and fire your tridimensional warp machine at the invaders. But hey, wait, little Timmy over there, he's playing with the keyboard. He's not using joystick or paddles. We suggest try several times to remove 255 of the little beasties. Compete against your own play score against the other players. Okay, so yeah, it's a space shooting game. And it's a basic program is what it's saying here, or I'm not sure. Basic's all in lowercase, so I don't know if it's like actual basic programming or not. And then pressing the reset will clean up the registers after you play. And then we got Survive. You know what? I'll pull up the manual as we get to each game, since we'll be playing all 3 of them. All right, let's pop in and play Space Games by Randy W. Massey, published by Educational Software at sometime in July 1982. Yeah, I'm already saying the packaging was top-notch. And reviews were favorable at the time. All right, let's start with aliens. How do we play some aliens? We already got the backstory, we got the comic book, and if we go back to the manual, we'll be able to see the other ones too. Yes, the Intellivision does seem like the rich kid's system. I never had one myself. I always played on my friends. All right, Aliens. Written by Randy Massey. Push the trigger. Let's go. I'm pushing the trigger. Any day now. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Mikey, for bringing it to everyone's attention. Have you played Atari today? All right, we're in. Oh yeah, this does feel like I'm playing educational software, though, right now. It is extremely bare bones fixed shooter. It's not even Space Invaders fixed shooter. It's even simpler than that. This feels like it's Astro Blast on the Intellivision. Just not without the cool explosions or breaking apart of asteroids. Alright, I think that's it. I was a little excited. It had the background like Scorched Earth. Maybe that's why we getting rid of the televisions. Alright, so let's go ahead and reset. Maybe they'll not let us do it that way. Yeah, and this will just continue on like that. I'll exit out and go back. I can hit the reset on my the Atari home computer as well. Alright, so for part 2, what's the next game called? After Aliens, we have Survive. After sending the aliens back to their home universe, oh, it's like the sequel to the first game. The remaining creatures have left you in space, quadrant peppered with mines. Should you survive, you'll face more aliens than 11 more quadrants, each more dangerous than the last. The mines are actually your allies as long as you don't collide with them yourself. You can lure an attacking alien to its destruction by positioning yourself on the opposite side of a mine using the joystick. Colliding with a mine yourself does not affect your strength, but reduces your score. This sounds like Escape, where we were moving around and trying to get other enemies to follow us. Each quadrant has fewer mines than the previous one, making it more difficult to lure the aliens to their doom. Both you and the aliens have laser beam weapons to fire at each other. You aim and fire, positioning the joystick in the desired direction and pressing the fire button. If you hit an alien, it'll be destroyed. If an alien hits you, you'll incur injuries of 20%. When injuries reach 100, you've had it. The best way to total destruction is move away from any approaching aliens so they won't gobble you up. Well, yeah, we got that idea. In the 2-player version, oh nice, second player uses the second joystick to control the attacking alien force. Cool, so it's 2 players simultaneous. You and a friend can play, and your friend can play as the attacking aliens. Nice. All right, let's try it before we go to the next one. Space games, 3 games in 1. Well, the first game was 1 star, 1.5 star, if we think of all the games we've played so far. All right, let's try Survive. Let's do this. Oh yes, that system you speak of, Errol, is right around the corner. It's like so close. That's one of the things I'm excited for in August. Welcome to Survive. So if you play a 2-player game, let's plug in a second joystick. Why not? Press the trigger on joystick 2. Okay. If I do it, it feels like there's a latency. When I try to push the trigger, it takes a little bit and then decides when it wants to go. Okay, there you go. Entering quadrant 1 on beginner level. Let's do it. Oh, there's all the mines loading in. This feels like a classic Atari home computer game. Okay, where am I? Okay, I'm in the bottom left corner. Player 1 is the smiley face. Now I'm playing this as 2 players. The second player... Whoa, that's so cool. The second player gets to move all the aliens, and I was right. It is just like the game Escape, where the second player can be now, constantly moving all the aliens, and I got a laser shot. Can I shoot diagonally? No way. So I'm playing 2 controllers at the same time. It's a 2-player variant of Escape, or we played lots of these games where you were trying to lure enemies into plots. Another one was Zombies on the ZX81. But look at this. The second player can move all the other enemies, the bad guys, at the same time. And your goal as player 1 is, I think, to make it to the rocket over here. Or maybe it might be to destroy all the aliens. Let's see. Yeah, you can even shoot the aliens out. So it's the formula that we've seen before, but it's better. It's actually one of the best variants of the way to play this, where you have a shot that you can shoot 8 different directions. It's still tile-based, but a nice idea. Yeah, most of the time they usually disappoint. Multi-carts do. So far, this one is awesome that we were able to play that. All right, so that's space games, and finally, the last one. I wonder if it takes place, if they all take place in order. There we go. The few survivors have retreated to their spacecraft, installing our cloaking device. Without this device, our family is defenseless against enemy invasion. Your orders: penetrate the alien spacecraft, retrieve the cloaking device, and return to your home safely. Safety. The alien spacecraft consists of 5 rooms. You must pass through each in order to get the cloaking device. The device itself is surrounded by a pulsating energy field. Contact with the field is constantly fatal. Numerous barriers are positioned throughout the alien ship. Running into one may cause you to lose one of your moves. However, you may find the barriers useful in avoiding aliens' laser fire. To leave a room, simply place yourself at the exit door. So this sounds like Berserk instead of Berserk, whatever they called it in the manual. And then we're going to be playing that style of game. During the game, you're allowed one chance to escape a particularly dangerous situation. To hit the panic button, simply press any key on the keyboard. You'll be allowed 10 quick moves. Nice. Man, yeah, the presentation of the manual is really cool. Yes, that's true. We are getting to that point where the box art of the 2600, that's what the games look like now. In July 1982, not so much. We do have whimsical art like this. This manual is a really well done one. Look, they even have strategies at the back. So done by a company that does mostly educational titles. They have 2 pretty good games so far. I'm contacting Randy Massey. There he is in San Jose. Wow. Nice. Be seeing you in the next Video Whiz program. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Mostly if they're educational, probably not. All right, let's take a look at Robot War. Or Robot Fight. Robot Battle? I think it was Robot Battle. Robot Attack. There it is. All right, let's see what Robot Attack is like. Oh, it has his credit at the bottom. I heard this one is the best one of the 3 in the compilation. I just saw Mikey's chat. Yes, Kingdom of Kroz style graphics. We've already seen that in a lot of Crystalware titles too. Okay, so we want to start with a novice game. In a few seconds, you will be under attack. Do you have the courage and skill to survive the killer robots? And to avoid the hideous mutating spiders, will you return with the cloaking device? Your ship's ready to blast off. All right. Well, the first game, yeah. Oh, look at this. Leaving Earth's destination alien spacecraft. They started with a cutscene. I'm not controlling any of this. Now arriving aboard the alien spacecraft. That's actually a really good idea, Raj, that they need to do that. They need to have high-quality graphics, and you play a video game with some artist who's done the video game like the Atari, front of the box, and you're playing the front of the box. Okay, so this looks like a turn-based game. Wow, that's so bizarre. So I have a character on the side. It's not like Berserk. Let's try touching the walls. Oh, okay, it doesn't kill us. But as we move around, I'm trying to make it to the other side. We have aliens that are doing their moves after I make my move. So let's see if we do a shot here. And then move back out of range. So I have a certain number of moves I can make. Like I can move down and then fire a shot, killing an alien, and then I have a certain amount of moves back. And then after I'm done, then the aliens do their move. So in a way, this is a pseudo-strategy game, almost like the game we just played, Computer Ambush, where you having to make the moves as like a squad-based game. Can I shoot? I can't shoot diagonally. I can only shoot in the 4 cardinal directions, so... Oh, no, I can. Okay, so shooting diagonally does work. At least there's no spiders here. Let's see if I can sneak my way down. Nice and easy. And it shows you how many lives you have left. Okay, got him. Let's see if this other guy takes it. Got it. Nice. Okay, this is pretty cool. Very impressive. Look at the shields we have left, too. I'm going to make a run for the door and see if I can do it without killing the aliens. Can I move diagonally? Yes, I can. So it allows 8-way movement, 8-way shots, but it's all meant to be like a strategy game rather than an action game. Can I leave? Okay, we did it. So we made it to the exit. We didn't have to kill everybody. And now we move on to the next room. Exit doors on the left. Now we have the spiders. So let's see, going up here. Spider is wounded. Can I shoot him again? What? Oh, they're doing all their turns. All right, so the spiders take 2 hits to take out. I see. Nice. Now, while this may look rudimentary, it's something fresh. This is something new with video games where we play plenty of Berserk games, and even ones that are more action-based. This is taking a different approach, and this is so fresh, it's really fun and intriguing that they did this. Like this, I can understand why they would have released this by itself, because of this concept, where you have to make the right moves. Okay, I think, yep, there you go. Now they're doing their moves, so I made sure I got cover. Let's go hide up here. Oh, I think they can get that. Yep, so they can break the barriers away just like I can. So you have to be a lot more careful. Let's see if I can sneak around to the top. And you learn how many shots or how many moves you can do before your turn is up. Yep, they're shooting through. I'm going to see if I can slip by here. We have 1 guard over the left side, though. Yep, I'm going to try to go over on the left and avoid everybody and not have to kill any of the spiders. So my turn's up. Now they're doing their turn next. So my move only has... Oh, this isn't good. I didn't think about staying under cover. I think I can do it now. Yep, now I can sneak by, but I ran out of moves, so now they're going to have their turn now. Okay, made it to the next room. We're now on to room 3. Exit door is now at the top. So it's my move first. Let's go with this guy on the left. The right guy, I don't think is going to be able to get... Yeah. Yes, that's true. It's all 3 in 1. That's a good point. I don't know, Robotron has to be something really fast-paced and action-oriented, and this one is not. But wow. Yes, it is. Yeah, this is really fun. I want this formula or this engine to be played in a larger scale, a bigger game. Wow, yeah, I'm impressed. That's pretty fun. Okay, Space Games started pretty drab, down in the very bad range, and then it just worked its way up better and better every single time. Yes, it's Escape on steroids. That's what it is. The second game was Escape, but it was 2-player Escape. And then you had the third one, which was Escape, but it was different. It gave you more tactical strategy. So of all 3 of these games in one package, yeah, this is awesome. I'm gonna crank this up because it's fresh and it works well. And it's fun to play, too. At least 3 stars. I'm going to go 3.5 stars for Space Games. And it's bizarre to see this when you think it's just going to be an educational title, because everything else they do is educational. But, yeah, Space Games is pretty fun. That's awesome. All right, and with that, let's see what our next game is. We're going to the United Kingdom and playing on our Commodore VIC-20. This is Space Phreeks. This is available both in United Kingdom and North America. We have 2 different flavors of the box. We have Space Phreeks on the unexpanded VIC-20, Rabbit Software. That is a pretty generic box front. And then we have, when it was released by Tronix, called Galactic Blitz. Cool artwork. Again, appealing to the colorful flashiness. Maybe something that a kid would play. And an example of the screenshot. We also have another one that was... available by Interesting Software, Tronix Publishing, and Rabbit Software. This is developed by Jimmy Huey at sometime in July 1982. Let's get our VIC-20 on. Alright, so it just loads right into it. Push the button and go. VIC-20 joystick is engaged. Okay, yeah, fixed shooter all the way. Move left, right, and fire. And we're dead already. The movements of the enemies, though, is that giving me Galaga vibes? I don't want to call it true Galaga, though. I guess you could say we've seen AE, which was another game where the enemies fly or swoop in like this. I wouldn't call it Galaga. To be true Galaga, it has to have a ship that takes your ship and then converts it into another ship. But you got to admit, look at the dual shots. It's pretty similar. This is using some of the characters that come with built into the VIC-20. A pseudo-scrolling starfield in the background. Let's see what level 2 throws at us. Well, we also have the apple too, right? Yes, we've already seen, I believe, 5 games by Jeff Minter so far. Long live llamas. So Jeff Minter exists, Llamasoft exists. I know exactly what you're talking about. And we're going to see another game by Jeff Minter, I think, before we finish July. So that can't be the only part of the game. I mean, this is the same thing. I thought we'd have different enemies. It does move and play well for a shooter. It is using the Commodore VIC-20 joystick. It is pretty standard fare. Oh, I love that, Mikey. Yeah, bring that to the chat. That'll cause some controversy. We already have TRS-80 color computer aficionados here. And just if you start bringing up Apple's going to be better or Commodore's going to be better, that's great. Yes, Commodore's going to kill everybody next month. All right, so Space Phreeks. That one's pretty average. I'd say of all the games you could play on a home computer, 3 stars. It's a fun time shooter. Simple enough, works well enough. Not doing anything particularly bad, not doing anything particularly good, but having a good time. All right, let's see our next game. It's time to go to the United Kingdom for real and play the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Spectrum Golf. Who's ready to play the first golf game ever on the ZX Spectrum? Let's take a look at the box. Oh, that's just beautiful. That's how to do it. Look at that. This is a later release of the box. R&R Software did this. And you can see they have the ZX Spectrum golfing. It's beautiful. Couldn't have said it better myself. Oh yeah, keep going. Apple and Commodore. As far as I know, at this point, the Commodore VIC-20 is selling better, or at least if you think month by month, than the Apple II. But I still hold the candle to right now. The best selling at this point is still the Apple II. All right, so we have any other artwork for Spectrum Golf besides what the cassette tape has. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And an example of the screenshot. We have a few different versions we could play. Let's play the very first one. This is by R.P. Brinchley of R&R Software at some time in July of 1982. Time to play some Spectrum Golf. Now, this is also available on the ZX81. We're only going to be playing the Spectrum version. And yes, we do need instructions. How in the world do we play Spectrum Golf? So it's 1 or 2 players. You can play a 9-hole course or a full 18-hole course. Each hole is generated at random, so no 2 games are the same. When it's your turn to play the ball, your ball will be set flashing. When you're ready to move, press enter. Now you have to enter a value of 0 to 12 as on a clock. So think of a 12 hands of a clock. That's going to send their direction. Then you have a value for strength of a shot of 1 to 100. An entry of 0 will return you to the direction input. Decimal inputs are allowed, so 3.25 will work. That's nice. Thanks, floating point integer. Press enter for more instructions. Remember, the ZX80 didn't have that. You couldn't use decimals on the old school ZX80. And then we have, when playing from the rough, your ball will not move far as it will on the fairway. Well, duh. When you're in trees, the ball may bounce off in any direction, land in the water, or go out of bounds to incur 1 penalty stroke. So this means this has no clubs you're picking. All you're doing is picking the direction and then how much power, and that's it. That's all you're doing. Take a look at the graphics for green fairway bunker trees, the hole in the ball. I hope you enjoy your game. Ready to enter or see instructions again. No, let's go. So no one in the chat right now is fighting over which one's better, ZX Spectrum, Acorn, Atom, or the ZX81. No one's fighting over Acorn or Sinclair in the chat. I know that everyone that would be fighting over that watches the show later, and then they tell me about it later in the comments. What length of course would you like to play? Let's go a short hole. We're not going to be playing that long. And let's do 2 players. The ZX International Welcome to the ZX International. This already looks like a colorful version of one we already played on the ZX81 called Graphical Golf. All right, so player one's ready. This is all on the keyboard. Which direction we want to go? Think like a clock. So I'll say 3 o'clock. And then how strong we want it. Let's go full on. 100. Go. Where's the ball going to go? Oh, we're on the green. Nice. Almost got a hole in one. So cool. Okay, so player two starting off at the tee off. Which direction? 3 o'clock again. Now, this means, should I do 99? Would that go hole in one? Let's see. Oh, okay, it did. Maybe I should have gone 90. So we're in the exact same spot. Player one and player two in the same place. We are on the green. Okay, ready to play? Which direction? We'll go 9 o'clock now. Or 9. And we want strength of, I don't know, 5. How do we putt? Please go in. Yes. Hold out in 2. Nice. In a way, this doesn't feel like we're playing golf because we're only picking a direction and power. It feels like we're playing an artillery variant where we decide where the bullet's going to go. But anyway, it just feels that way to me. All right, so player 2 is ready to go. We want to go 9 o'clock, and then we want a strength of 5, and then we're probably going to get a hole in one. Huh? Oh, man, Mark, you're starting controversy if you say that. If they look in the chat later, you might have people come after you. If you say the Game & Watch is over those. Oh, man. All right, so we got the next hole, 1 under par. Nice touch. We're here at the ZX International, and Chrono's on his next move. It draws it all in. All the golf games right now are doing that. Everyone does that one. Okay, so let's do a 2 o'clock for the first hit, and let's hit it at, let's try 90. There's also no wind to contend with. Ready, go. Where's it going to go? Oh, in the trees. Not good. Okay, so we want to hit straight ahead then for player 2. Kind of reason I wanted to do player 1 or player 2. There's also absence of sound. It works for a golf game, but at this point, ZX Spectrum developers are just putting sound in anywhere they can because, you know, if they were programmed for the ZX81, it had no sound. All right, so let's go 3 o'clock, and let's go all the way. 100. Hit it over there. Go, go. Oh, wait, did I hit the wrong? Oh, I got to remember, I'm on the spongy ZX key, the chiclet keyboard. I got to remember to go slower. All right, so let's do 4 o'clock. Give me 80. And there's no clubs. Is it going to go? Ball rebounds from a tree. No way. It calculates the tree, and we landed in the trees again. Okay, nice. I wasn't expecting that. All right, so let's try this again. Going to 3 o'clock, and we want a strength of 100. Ready? Pop that sucker. Way over there. That's better. Still on the fairway. Nice. There you go. Nice job, Mikey. Peace and love for everyone. All Apples, Ataris, Commodores, TRS-80s, ZXs, Timex Sinclairs. Everyone. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. Especially the color computer because it's colorful. All right, let's go to the 3 o'clock. Give me a strength of 100. It's going to probably rebound off a tree again. That's right, Raj. Just remember, punch. You don't really mash the keyboard on a ZX Spectrum. You lightly tap or touch the keyboard on a ZX Spectrum. All right, so I got to admit, they simplified this game enough that it actually is enjoyable. It's more enjoyable than Graphical Golf we played on the ZX1, the closest one I could differentiate to this, but this is the very first golf game on the ZX Spectrum. There are other golf games out there, but because of the simplicity, it actually works, but it doesn't really feel like a golf game. This feels like I'm playing an artillery variant where I decide how far I want the bullet to go and how much power and where it's going to land as golf. So it actually is all right. I'm going to say of all the games you could play, Spectrum Golf is a relaxing, fun affair because it's just calculating how much power and which direction you want to go. So I'll say of all the games you can play on a home computer, it's about 2.5 stars, around the average range. And Manly striking up the controversy again. So much fun. All right, it's time to put the video game playing on pause. We are going to keep going in July 1982. Tune in next episode for the newest RPG by Epix, and they're finally copying Robotron 2084. That's it for today, and like I always say, don't forget to back up that floppy. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.